But here's the hook. Can that energy translate to wins? Leadership's great, but we need points on the board. I'm dying to see how he commands the huddle. Any bets on his first big moment as QB1? Let's keep this convo rolling. Alright, let's break it down. McCarthy's got the system down pat. O'Connell's been drilling it into him. Third down reads, opponent tendencies, the whole 9 yards. He's been around all that, the coach said. This isn't a rookie stumbling in blind. It's a guy who's been prepping behind the scenes like a Viking warrior sharpening his axe. The stats back it up too. At Michigan, McCarthy posted a 72.3% completion rate in 2023, pinpoint accuracy we could use in purple. Pair that with O'Connell's play calling, which got Darnold to a 103.5 QB rating last year, and you've got a recipe for fireworks. Vikings news doesn't get more electrifying than this. So what's next? Will McCarthy's prep pay off? Or will the NFL's speed throw him off? That's the million-dollar question, and I'm on the edge of my seat. What do you think? Does he hit the ground running or stumble out the gate? Drop your thoughts. Time to zoom out. O'Connell's not treating McCarthy like a fragile newbie. We won't put unnecessary pressure on him to be someone he's not, he said. That's music to my ears. Let the kid play his game. The Vikings are setting him up to execute, not to carry the world on his shoulders. Think about it. Darnold thrived in 2024 with a balanced attack. 1,800 rushing yards from our backs and Jefferson hauling in 1,200 receiving yards. McCarthy steps into that same sandbox with weapons galore. Vikings fans, aren't you salivating at the thought of JJ airing it out to JJ? But here's the twist. Can he handle the spotlight when it's live? No more sidelines, no more watching. It's go time in 2025. I'm hyped, but I'm curious. How do you see this playing out? Let's debate it in the comments. Let's get real. McCarthy's youth is a double-edged sword. At 22, he's got that fearless energy O'Connell loves, but he's still untested in the NFL grinder. He's got kind of an old soul to him, O'Connell said, hinting at a maturity beyond his years. That's the X factor we're banking on, Vikings Nation. Flash to last season. Even injured, he's in the locker room, lifting spirits. That's not just a QB, that's a leader. Teammates gravitate to him, and in a franchise with a roller coaster QB history, sorry, Kirk, that's gold. Vikings news like this keeps the dream alive. Do you feel it too? So what's the cliffhanger? Will that old soul vibe carry him through the chaos of a 17-game season? I'm itching to find out, and I know you are too. What's your bold prediction for McCarthy in 2025? Lay it on me. All right, let's paint the picture for 2025. McCarthy's stepping onto the field, helmet on, crowd roaring, our QB1 at last. O'Connell's betting on that Michigan polish and a year of Vikings prep to make him a plug-and-play star. Really excited, he told Clark, and I'm right there with him. Skull vibes are peaking. The numbers don't lie. Michigan's pro-style offense gave him a 27-1 TD-to-NT ratio in 2023. Now he's got Jefferson, Hawkinson, and a nasty O-line to work with. Vikings fans, doesn't that sound like a playoff formula? I'm dreaming of January football. Are you? But here's the suspense. Can he deliver under Minnesota's brutal expectations? We've been burned before, but this feels different. What's your gut say? Does McCarthy take us to the promised land? Hit those comments hard. Let's talk intangibles. McCarthy's got that it factor. O'Connell's gushing. He's a locker room energizer. Even sidelined, he's the guy teammates lean on, blending youthful hype with a vet's calm. That's the kind of QB who could turn US Bank Stadium into a fortress again. Rewind to his Michigan days. He led them to a national championship with poise and swagger. Now, he's bringing that to Minnesota, where we've been starving for a franchise QB since, well, forever. Vikings news like this is why we bleed purple, agree or what? So what's the hook? Will that spark ignite a dynasty or flicker out? I'm all in on JJ. Who's with me? Tell me your hype level down below. Time to get tactical. O'Connell's playbook fits McCarthy like a glove. We talk about the detail of how we're going to play against this opponent, he said. That's next level prep, and JJ's been eating it up. Vikings fans, Aren't you pumped to see this kid dissect defenses? The proof's in the pudding. Darnold's 32 TDs in 2024 came from O'Connell's system, and McCarthy's got the same tools, maybe more. At Michigan, he averaged 9.0 yards per attempt. Imagine that with Jefferson streaking downfield. This could be explosive, and I'm losing my mind over it. But here's the edge. Will he adapt fast enough to the NFL speed? That's the test, and 2025's the proving ground. What's your call? Does he ball out or take time to adjust? Let's hear it. Let's wrap this up with a bang. McCarthy's journey is our journey, Vikings Nation. From Michigan's pro-style wizardry to a lost rookie year-turned masterclass, he's primed for 2025. O'Connell's all in, saying, I'm really confident, and I'm riding that wave skull to the core. Think about it. A QB who's watched, learned, and led from the shadows, now stepping into the light. With our weapons and O'Connell's brain trust, the Vikings could be unstoppable. I'm seeing purple confetti in my dreams. How about you? So what's next? Will McCarthy be the savior we've prayed for? I need your takes. Drop them below, smash that like button, subscribe for more Vikings news, and share this with every Skull fan you know. Let's keep the faith alive. Hey, one last thing. O'Connell's dropping knowledge bombs and I'm eating it up. He's learned what the processes look like, he said, comparing McCarthy's prep to a degree before med school. This kid's not just ready, he's built for this. Vikings fans, doesn't that fire you up? The stage is set. 2025, new QB, new era. Last year's 13-4 run with Darnold was sweet, but McCarthy could take us further, maybe all the way. I'm calling it now. JJ's first start is gonna be electric. What's your bold prediction for his debut? Alright, that's the rundown. 15 scenes of pure Vikings hype. Hit me with your thoughts, like this video, subscribe if you haven't, and let's get this skull party roaring. McCarthy's coming, and we're ready. Bring it on, 2025. Hey, Vikings faithful. Skull Nation, rise up. It's time for some massive Vikings news that's got me buzzing like it's game day at US Bank Stadium. Today, we're diving into the future of our franchise. JJ McCarthy, our number 10 overall pick from last year's NFL draft, and what head coach Kevin O'Connell is saying about him. Buckle up, because this is about to get wild. Our rookie QB might just be the spark we've been waiting for. Picture this. A 22-year-old kid from Michigan, cool as ice, stepping into an NFL-style offense and running it like a seasoned vet. That's what O'Connell saw in McCarthy, and he's spilling the tea in an ESPN interview with Kevin Clark on This Is Football. The coach says McCarthy's command of a pro-style system, blending runs and passes like a maestro, stood out big time. Vikings fans, are you feeling that hype yet? Here's the teaser that's got my blood pumping. McCarthy's set to take the reins as our starting quarterback in 2025. Yeah, you heard that right, 2025 could be the year of JJ. But how did we get here and what's the plan? Stick with me, because we're breaking this down step by step, and trust me, you're not going to want to miss a single second of this purple and gold journey. Let's rewind the tape to last year's draft. The Vikings front office rolls the dice at number 10, snagging JJ McCarthy, and the fanbase, us included, starts dreaming of Super Bowl glory. O'Connell's eyes lit up watching this kid at Michigan, where he wasn't just tossing passes. He was orchestrating an offense that married the run and pass game like a power couple. Stats don't lie. Michigan's 2023 season saw them average 35.9 points per game. McCarthy was a big part of that machine. Now, O'Connell's not just throwing compliments around like confetti. He's got specifics. He told Clark they needed high-quality execution on those weighty downs, and that's really what we like to be with our offense. Translation: McCarthy's got the precision and poise we need to dominate early downs and keep defenses guessing. Vikings news like this gets me fired up. Does it do the same for you? But here's the suspense. Could a guy this young really step into the NFL spotlight and shine? O'Connell's betting on it, and he's got a plan to make it happen. We're about to unpack how McCarthy's past and present are colliding to set him up for a monster 2025. Keep those skull chants ready, folks. Alright, let's talk about McCarthy's rookie year or lack thereof. Preseason rolls around, and JJ lights it up against the Raiders, completing 11 of 17 passes for 188 yards and 2 touchdowns. The hype train's full speed ahead. Then bam, disaster strikes. He tears his meniscus, and just days later, he's sidelined for the entire season. Vikings fans, I felt that gut punch right along with you. But hold up, because O'Connell's spinning this into gold. McCarthy might have been stuck on the bench, but he wasn't twiddling his thumbs. He soaked up every second of Sam Darnold's prep, watched O'Connell install plays, and studied the Vikings system like it was his playbook for life. Imagine him sitting there, taking mental reps, learning the ropes. Talk about dedication. So here's the question burning in my mind. Does that pseudo-redshirt year give him an edge? O'Connell thinks so, saying, "He's not a rookie." That's a bold claim, and it's got me itching to see what's next. What do you think? Did that lost season secretly make McCarthy stronger? Drop your take in the comments. Zoom in on this. McCarthy spent a whole year shadowing Sam Darnold, our 2024 starter who threw for over 4,200 yards and led us to the playoffs. That's no small deal, O'Connell told ESPN. He got to see what meetings were like, how we talk about reads and play against opponents. It's like McCarthy's been earning his undergrad degree in Vikings football, and 2025 is grad school. The coach isn't stopping there. He's painting a picture of a QB who's ready to execute, not just memorize. McCarthy's been in the room for third down installs, soaking up every detail about coverages and reads. Vikings news doesn't get juicier than this. Our future QB's got the playbook in his DNA now, even without live reps. But can he translate that brainpower to the field? That's the cliffhanger we're all hanging on. O'Connell's confidence is sky high, and I'm starting to catch the fever. What's your prediction for McCarthy's first snap as QB1? Let's hear it. Skull Nation's gotta weigh in. Let's get nerdy for a sec. O'Connell drops this gem. McCarthy's time at Michigan was like a crash course in NFL ball. They were running the football, marrying the run and the pass on early downs, he said. Check this, Michigan ran the ball 56% of the time in 2023, racking up 2,856 rushing yards. McCarthy wasn't just a passenger. He was the engine keeping it balanced. Now, fast forward to Minnesota. Our offense thrives on that same mix. Think Dalvin Cook and Justin Jefferson tearing it up in years past. McCarthy's experience fits like a glove, and O'Connell's drooling over how he handled weighty downs. Vikings fans, doesn't that sound like the perfect recipe for some purple magic? Here's the kicker. Will that college polish shine in the pros? O'Connell's banking on McCarthy's smarts to carry over, but we're about to see if the kid's got the grit to match. Hang tight because the story's just heating up. Any guesses on how he'll handle the pressure? Flashback to that Raiders preseason game. McCarthy's slinging it, the crowd's roaring, and then silence. That meniscus tear wasn't just a blow to his knee. It was a test of his heart. But instead of sulking, he turned it into a masterclass in patience, watching Darnold and O'Connell like a hawk. That's the kind of resilience we love in Minnesota. O'Connell's take? I'm really confident and really excited to see him hit the ground running. No pressure, just execution, that's the vibe. McCarthy's not being asked to be Superman. He's being asked to be himself. Vikings news like this makes me proud. Our QB's got the tools, and now it's time to build something epic. So what's the suspense here? How fast can McCarthy shake off the rust and lead? We're counting down to 2025, and every day's a step closer to seeing if he's the real deal. What's your gut telling you? Will he be a star or a work in progress? Hit me up below. Let's talk leadership because McCarthy's got it in spades. O'Connell calls him a locker room energizer, changer, high praise from a coach who's seen it all. Even sidelined, JJ was pumping up the team, bringing that youthful fire with an old soul twist. Vikings fans, doesn't that give you chills? Picture this. Teammates rallying around a 22-year-old who's never taken a regular season snap. That's rare air. O'Connell told Clark, the guys on the team they love his energy. It's not just about stats. It's about vibe, and McCarthy's got the kind of charisma that could turn our locker room into a brotherhood.